Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. These are the charts of the day. Tuesday, the 15th of July. We're halfway through the month, and boy, the market was volatile today. We gapped up, we rolled down hard, rallied back nicely, and then pulled back a little bit at the end of the day to close mixed. The jury's still out as to what the direction of this market's going to be, and quite frankly, I'm finding it hard to find a really attractive chart patterns. I know it's going to sound strange to some of you because we had some interesting charts developing today. We'll take a look at a few that look good, and then I'll talk about some shorts as well. If you take a look at Exact Sciences, one of the unique things that's going on with this chart is a big long rising channel. But going back a long time, you'll see that way back here in 02, 03, 04, there was a congestion or a cluster of highs up around the 17.5 area. Right now we're up in that zone, and these are all-time highs. So I'm not thrilled about the technicals down here, but they're not terrible. This stock, if it does get above the 17.5 3/4 range, can be 20, and very quickly. I'm going to take a look at the way it's setting up in the next few days, and we'll see if we can make a trade on it. But any pullback that breaks the trend line and then gets below the 15 range should be stopped. In any case, it is in a rising channel. It pulled back, and now with today's action up 96 cents, or almost 6% on a day like this, that's good relative strength. Glue, speaking of good relative strength, look at the move in glue in the last couple, 3 weeks. Very nice action, taking it from under 4 at 375 to as high as 670 today. Nearly doubling, about 85% gain in a very short period of time. So I'm not advocating it being aggressive here, but it has moved through a key resistance zone. Let's go back a bit. And this resistance zone with these multiple tops in here, back in 2011 at 610 and 2013 at around 590, you can see right in that zone is resistance. It also approached that here by reaching 564 and backing off. This time it blew through all of those and may very well try the 07 winter high around 1046, maybe as high as 14. But for now, I'm thinking glue does get a pullback if the market pulls back. So don't be too aggressive with it at this point. Let's look for another setup consolidation in here that could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a fifth wave up that eventually gets to 7.5. I'd like to see it on a pullback first. GoPro, well, GPRO had a pretty good day today at the new issue. Let's look at it on a 15-minute chart. After bottoming and double bottoming a couple days ago, you can see what the stock did in the last day and a half or so. Nice action. What a nice recovery today, from 36.35 to as high as 42 and change, and it closed very well. So from a daily standpoint, the declining tops line is taken out, and it's testing the high from 2 days ago at 42.88. Once it gets through that, I'm expecting 45 and then 48, my swing trade target. It was a good day and a bad day for Candy. Here's the 1 minute chart. Very nice intraday pattern. Excuse me. It looks like the 1 minute chart. Here's the 1 minute. That's the daily, excuse me. And looking at the long-term chart, this was the major breakout back here in 2013. The pullback, the pop, the flag, it's been stair-stepping its way up in a choppy manner. This time, though, I'm seeing this kind of slow movement upward, and today it accelerated on that news out of well, that was yesterday that accelerated, followed through today, and then reversed. Where did it reverse? Near the trend channel line, mid-channel, and also not far from the high, which was 2240. It reached as high as 1992, and that's my next target, 22.25 range. The support would be at yesterday's low, down about 1870. Plug. Well, with two major firms coming out with upgrades today, Plug had a pretty spectacular session, considering the market itself. It opens at 458 and ran up to 499, closed 485, up 67 cents or 16%, a whopping 43 million. Now, breaking out of this falling wedge and above the moving averages, the only thing left for this stock is to take out 5.25. That's my target for tomorrow. If we follow through that, we can see 6.5 and then 8, 8.25. Pixelworks has been acting very well of late. Not particularly pleased with the close, but I wanted to show you some of the action in it today. The pop here on big volume and then the pullback held that support. Stocks moved back up right to the resistance zone today. So when you step back and look at the overall chart pattern, you'll see a big, large rising channel that is talking about potential $11.5, $12 target. That would be my swing trade if it breaks out above today's high. So keep an eye on this one. That's it for the long side for now. I want to go over a bunch of shorts. And first on my list is CAMP, which is a boxer swing short. You can see that it's been acting great since it dropped, broke support, showed you that bear wedge, collapsed, rising wedge, right at the resistance zone, rolled over, broke back below the moving averages, and today below support. This should be headed for 14 3/4, 15 short term. And if it breaks that, the bottom of the channel could very well get this in the 11, 12 range eventually. EGL. After the major trend line was broken, here it snapped back to it and then rolled over and took out the key support level. I'm looking for this stock to make it down towards the 32.5, 33 zone. EHTH. Beautiful uptrend. There's your breakdown from this wedge and another wedge. It appears that this wedge is breaking as it dropped $1 today and took out that line. I'm expecting it to test the lows near 32.45 as early as tomorrow, but eventually, looking at this pattern, 27.5 is my target. ININ. This is one of our better performing swing shorts, and I'll tell you why. It rolled over and rolled over hard, but last night, or tonight I should say, came out with news that knocked this stock under 40, down near the bottom of the channel in one fell swoop. I wouldn't be aggressive in shorting it here, but over the course of the next 3-4 weeks, watch what kind of consolidation sets up. Because it could be wave 1, 2, 3, and 4, which could lead to even lower levels down around the high 20s. INSY. Well, this massive head and shoulder top and the sharp breakdown here was followed by a 3-wave corrective pullback to resistance at the neckline and the declining tops line. If you move back and look at the channel as it's set up, this could very well test the lows very quickly at 21.5, and below that, I'm looking for mid-teens. IPAR. Interparfums broke the trend channel, broke support, and then formed the wedge. Today, it dropped 88 cents or 3%. It looks to me like it's coming out of the wedge and is going to test the August low from last year around 26.5. Below that, I'm looking at 23.5, 24, and maybe even high teens. NDSO. Oh, you notice the theme here? All of these stocks had big uptrends, broke beautiful trend channels, and got creamed. Then bounced to resistance, and now are beginning to roll over. If you look carefully, looks like a little bear flag forming right in here. Watch for support at 37.25 to give way. That's my next minor target. And then beyond that, we could see 33, 34. NUS. Well, a stock I've been high on shorting since it was here. It's been about a month and it has drifted lower, but it's a little painful. But right on this line, see this line here that connects all these lows? This looks like a stock waiting to fall apart. If it falls, it may fall quickly and hard. I'm looking for 60 and then 50 eventual targets. And lastly, tonight is VeriSign, which also was a chart that was rocking, broke down, snapped back to resistance, filled the gap, rolled over in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and formed the rising wedge. That wedge broke, and now it's forming a bear flag. I don't see anything but downside in this stock. I'm looking for 43, 44, and eventually maybe even high 30s. But for now, let's keep a watch on this one for a break of that bear flag. And that's it tonight, folks. Everybody have a good evening. I'll talk to you in the trading room tomorrow.